Oh, all right. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, XO family. I am the host, Crystal XO for Relationship Recap. And as you guys know, it is Friday night, so it is time to recap Ready to Love. But I am just one half of Relationship Recap. The other half is right here, my boy Scorpio Moe.
Happy Friday, y'all.
I was waiting for something profound to come with that old man point. Nothing profound came. But you know what? Speaking of an old man point,
What?
I am enjoying the press run for highest to lowest. If there was ever an old man, you can tell the older people, seasoned people, tend to say what they want. But there is nothing more free than a man who isn't afraid of anybody. What's up, Haitian Empress? Good to see you in here early tonight. Good to see that.
What up, Empress, Tanisha, who else?
Under the olive branches. Hey, Miss J. Reed. Hey, DMC. With the Just Draws podcast. L. Jackson, hello. Glad to see everyone here early tonight because, yes, Haitian Empress, finally. What's up, Marriott? Finally to see you here early because usually you tip in a little bit later in the day. A little later in the evening, but tonight's episode, there's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about. Hey, S. Sampson 45. Before we get into the episode, I had a clip, and for some reason, it would not load. But I played it. It's on YouTube, and it's also on our Instagram pages. And it is a digital clip from last week with Deanna and Hussein having another conversation. You guys remember they had a conversation early on where she told him that he looked like a person that could not communicate. And then on this clip, he tried to basically have a better conversation, ACR, but it ended up going even worse. A lot of you chimed in. And Marriott said, I saw it, Deanna needs help. But some people chimed in. There were a couple people that had Deanna's back. Some said both of them were wrong. What did you think? Because I didn't even warn you. I just put it up. What were your thoughts on that clip?
Still hurting me.
Yeah, I honestly, my thought is she has a condescending air. And I want to say, though, I do think that being a firefighter is a very important job, right? But I don't think that you should put down anyone else because of what you do. And it seems like Deanna feels like her job makes her better than other people at what they do. It seems like she feels like she's better than people for some reason, which is strange to me.
In that environment, let's say if you're at your family reunion or you're at a gathering or amongst your peers,
right?
Firefighter is a little something different. Usually in those environments, the firefighters live out in the suburbs. They're not from the, that's not a job someone from the inner city chooses. So
there's Deanna, in case we're needing a reference.
She needs somebody to fight that hairdo that she got. What she needs, that is ridiculous.
that I don't know, because we don't see her like this at all.
She needs to fight her hairdresser.
That's a bad look. But on the show, I like the shortcut on her because she's a very pretty face. I don't like the color of it, but I do think she's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
I think that she needs someone to be honest with her. Yes, you are accomplished. Yes, you do something that is, very admirable. Right. However, your attitude and your outlook on life is a lot of defense in there, and it's taken away from you.
It just hit me. So when you hear those situations and you say these men are intimidated by these women who are successful, This is what they're talking about. They're not intimidated. They just don't like the air that comes with it. This is what they're.
No, I'm not gonna. So I just want to make sure that we being honest.
I'm here from the male perspective.
Right. But I'm just saying most of the women that the men are talking about are not firefighters, though.
No, it's not that. It's the sense of I feel like because of my position, I'm better. It's not the firefighter situation. It's not a firefighter. It's the air of, like you said, she comes off like she's better than. That's part of what they're talking about. I know it's don't believe that, but
no, I'm not saying that we don't believe it. I'm not saying that we were saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I don't think she fits the profile of most of the women that have that. Because she not only is she acting like her job, but she's also physical. She has insulted a man's height, what a person does. Like she's a little different than the average.
But you said man's height, but then you take that same woman and a lot of other women, they say they don't like short guys. So
all I'm saying is that Deanna's a little different than the average successful woman. But if you think that she's the same as a woman that is executive at Coke, that's cool.
That's some of the energy that men are talking about. It's not all of it, because to me, she does have a masculine sense of energy, and she, like you said, she is condescending, and she just doesn't like him because she's not like that with the other brother.
She don't like really anybody there. I don't think, besides possibly Khalid, but I don't even think she would like him because she said, "Hey, thank you, Karen. How sweet are you?" But I don't think she likes him because she said, well, you seem kind of subtle. She just insults everybody, even people she likes. She said, you seem kind of subtle. I'm with action. Okay. So it really like gives that she's kind of shaming him into you're not doing anything. And he's like, he doesn't feel it. There's nothing about that that would make him want to be romantic with her.
Hey, yeah. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Woo. There's a lot of that going on, boy. Woo.
She's in competition mode, insecure. She is in competition mode, but I will say this. Anisha says she wants you to do the bending. He does. But I agree. I don't think she likes Khalil either. I just think he's the lesser of all the evils, right? Khalil will be too much for her because he will not let her say whatever she wants. I think that I'm sure that Deanna likes Cisco too, but Cisco would never be attracted to her. But
he ain't got no money for her.
She'll put him down because of his money. But the thing about Deanna, I want to give her some grace. I do think that a lot of times women that have been hurt in their past develop an exterior that protects them. So inside she could be, very sensitive and there could be a hurt little girl, but besides that football player exterior. I'm just saying.
Nobody got time to be cutting through that though. That's by the time you get to it, you're exhausted. You're cooked. You'd be like, man, I've got nothing. And she'd be like, I'm ready. You'd be like, man.
Well, she ain't gonna get there because she is so she just comes off as a very mean girl. Dorothy says Deanna's a firefighter trainer. If I'm correct, she comes off as many that are in a supervised position. She's blocking her blessings, though. I definitely think she's a supervisor because she kind of belittled Cam because he had just started.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're just the such and such.
Jesus. But that, I'm telling y'all, that all comes from insecurity. And Blondie said, why is she still here? I believe that she's gonna go home next week. I believe let's do this early and then we can get into all the chewy stuff of the show. What do you think? Who do you think is gonna go? Do you think between Deanna and Angie?
It's close, but I gotta say Deanna, only because nobody's experience with her was really pleasant. The one brother's trying to hold on, but the other dudes, it's not there. So it's going to be her. It's going to be close, but it's going to be her.
I think it's going to be her too. I think at least Angie has some problems as well. But at least Angie is you can tell that she has a sexual side.
See, that's the thing. Forgive me, I'm gonna say this, y'all. Well, I ain't gonna tell y'all forgive me. Y'all don't care about what I say. But, mind you, this is in the middle of the getaway. If you send DeAndre ain't giving up nothing over this weekend.
Nothing.
So we can send her home. What we don't want to do is send home the possibility. Even though we probably don't want her either, we still got a chance to save something. This is man thinking.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Love is Mindy. I love that you're watching with your husband. This is the thing. I do think you're being honest for the men. You guys did hear Hussein say with Angie, that could just be a weekend thing.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
But he was like, it could just be a weekend thing, but that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. And you guys remember, yes, Polly Angie. I do think I went back and watched that clip where she knew the poly friend of Hussein's. She knew him. She knows that man. She's a part. She knows she's open to the world. Angie is, because I just get that energy, and I'm a woman, but I get the energy from her that she is physical. She enjoys it, and then she has this wall up, and then she probably doesn't understand why the guys that she's physical with don't want to take it to the next level.
What did I say? What is my saying about the wild women and in the bedroom?
Crazy in the head, crazy in the bed.
Damn it, there it goes.
Christal, I'm a woman of a particular age, and I'm so tired of being strong. I would love a man to lead the younger generation of women will learn. I too, DC, am a woman of a particular age, and I too was tired of leading. But what I will say, though, I will admit, sometimes it can be difficult to, even though we will say that we would love a man to lead, if you haven't seen that demonstrated, it can be hard to allow that, to rest in that. I'm still learning. I am a willing participant to learning, but I've never really seen it. I've never had it until this situation I'm in now. So I'm not an expert. Well, I'm an expert in being open to trying it, but I do think it's important to acknowledge that it can be difficult to relax in that if you've never seen it and you've never felt comfortable. Because in order to let a man lead, you really have to be with a man that you trust his leadership. And at the first sign of that leadership going awry, it's easy to want to take back the reins and be like, hold on, that's not how I would do it.
But that's the point. You're not supposed to be doing it. If you wanted to lead, like at some point, how you doing it is because you're talking about at this point leading you, right? So if that's not how you would do it, then you do it, because it might start off looking unfamiliar, then wind up being, it's more than one destination more than one route to a destination. And because it's unfamiliar, and it can be scary. I can understand that. But
what if you are in the passenger seat and somebody is driving and they are going in circles? Have you ever seen that clip that Cat Williams says? It's like white people can be in the car, and if somebody's going the wrong way, they'll be like, we just passed that sign. Black people be like, hey, what's going on? Whoa, where we going? It's very difficult, I would say, as a woman. And I haven't really been in that situation, but I can imagine if you see the person leading you down a road of despair, because you got to understand, Mo, and I'm being honest, and I'm not speaking for all the women in the chat, but that argument that men have, well, you lead yourself, but I was doing a pretty good job of leading myself. That's pretty good.
That's called independent, right?
But I'm saying, so when you say, I'm doing a great job, I'm getting gold stars, I'm progressing, I'm here, I'm moving here, and someone says, hey, you're doing a great job. I am ready to come in and lead. You're like, okay, are you going to be taking us up? Are we going to be stagnant? Are we going to the side? Like, that's why I think it's important to be equally yoked, because if you are a person, I'm telling you, when I was dating, that's why I never, ever, ever agreed to be serious with any of these people, because I was like, I can see the trajectory of my journey. Why has your journey not taken you there? And then you have the audacity to want to lead me, and you're not leading you.
No, but that's the thing. You got with them. You had to get to that point when you see somebody and you see how they're living outside of you. That's based on how they think and how they move.
You join the deuces, ladies.
You're joining the program. So if you see that from afar, why would you join it and be attached and then say, I can't follow you? You can see that without even being in the relationship. That's not
you may have to be in the right, but not getting deep in. But that's why it's important. Sometimes that, the person may be fine and you may have a weakness for that particular fine, but you gotta, ladies, you gotta make sure that you don't fall for the fine, or you don't fall for, because there's some guys that have a good conversation. You may enjoy them, but you may not respect them enough to lead. It really is our responsibility to pick well, because every man's going to want to lead. So get the one that you trust.
Keep trying. Y'all pick.
Pick well, pick wisely. In the words of our friend Sahara, choose wisely.
Now
choose wisely.
all week I've been thinking about the thing that you said. It's usually what I say. I'm surprised you said it.
What?
About somebody smelling like urine. They look like they smell like urine.
I shouldn't have said that.
I was laughing about that all week because it's true.
I should not have said that. Before we get into the conversation, let's ask a question, because they asked tonight. Question of the night is, we'll start, of course, with our pajama Mo. What is the difference between toxic and spicy? And I love the fact that they asked this question, because those of you that have watched my reviews on King's Court, and I had an interview with Steph today. I'm not going to even say nothing about it besides please watch. But that came up on King's Court as spicy was given to women that the men found attractive, specifically women that weren't African American, and then toxic or aggressive is often used for others. But tonight the guy said toxic was negative, and they actually said spicy was sexy. So I want to ask you, what is the difference in your opinion between spicy and toxic?
I guess if I had to pick, I think that's a dumb comparison that they even did that. But I think just with the spicy can just be a little, you can kind of check somebody, but not go overboard and leave it there. I think toxic is more of an action. You know what I'm saying? You could talk, but I think the toxicity comes with action and not just words. Like, that's why they were referring to the busting out the windows, the keying of the cars. These are all actions. The showing up at my job. These are all just actions. But if I'm with a woman and let's say I say something that's out of line, or I say, yo, 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 and she was like, my name ain't yo, my name is such and such. That's spicy to me. You know what I'm saying? She's checking, but she's still carrying it. Look, she's checking me off for something I did that was wrong. So I think that's spicy. Put me back in the boundaries or whatever. But toxic is action and it's all negative. I don't think spicy is necessarily negative. That's what I think.
The Just Draws podcast says spicy equals people who challenge you but never make you feel less than. Same thing as you're saying. That's interesting, and that's Guy's perspective. I will say that to me, it seems like the difference between spicy is when a woman is either light-skinned or not black. Because they can say, wait a minute, hold on. Hey, now, I respect it. Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
I just moved.
You threw all up and swished your chair around. Because I see
I don't do no swishing. I don't like how that sounds.
But I felt like I hear spicy referred to from about Latino women. And I don't ever hear Black women called spicy. I've never heard a Black guy say, "Ooh, she's spicy." Never heard that. Unless it's a Spanish woman or a mixed race woman. But we can say the same thing. Maybe our voices are deeper, or maybe we just have more melanin in our skin, and it comes off as she got an attitude. Now, I remember this guy did call me brown sugar. He said, "Can I call you brown sugar?" And I said, "No, you can call me Christal." Now, and he just looked at me, and I looked back at him. But we were on the job, and I don't want you calling me brown sugar on the job. Like, what does that look like? What is my boss gonna think? I walk by and the maintenance man is calling me brown sugar.
That's crazy.
No, sir.
You go to that.
Huh?
Go to HR for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would, but see, that's the thing. As a woman of color, I'm not gonna go to HR. I'm gonna just tell you no. One of those spicy chicks to take your ass to HR. I'm gonna just check you right there. No, you can call me Christal. And he said, okay. But I do think, I agree that the meaning of it, toxic, does mean actions and a really negativity. Spicy could just be a smart mouth. But I do think that we don't get the benefit of the doubt a lot of times. I do think we get, specifically the browner you are.
I don't know what circles you. Spicy was even a slang. There's a song with Lil' Kim and Fabulous called Spicy. That was a slang in New York maybe about 3 years ago. That's why.
So you've never heard Latino women referred to as spicy?
No, I hear guys just say that because it's based. They're just using that analogy based on their food and Italian it to the woman of her being hot, tamales, spicy, all that. But okay. Urban, no, I have not. No.
But you just said you had, because
no, I said that's just in general. A white guy could see be somewhere and say the same thing. I'm saying in urban America, that was slang a couple of years ago. Y'all can go to YouTube whenever you want and see Fabulous and what's the name. It just never caught on everywhere else. But that's just not to Latino women. I don't believe that in our culture.
Okay, I've never heard a Black woman called spicy. I have heard Black guys say she's spicy. That and I just I've never heard it to one of us. I've only heard it to them. But I
spicy. That's what they talking spicy. You talking real spicy right now. That's how it's used.
Okay. Well, we obviously both of us have had experiences. So I've heard it used as talking about a Latino woman, and you've heard it used talking about like having a smart mouth. But obviously both have happened. But okay, so I just wondered what everybody thought about that question. And do you think would you say, Mo, that a lot of times, like for instance, let's use the situation with Kiara and Jay. Let's talk about that first, because a lot of people would say that Kiara was being spicy because she was, and then some people say she had a bad attitude. It just depends. But when we were watching it, you acknowledged that, okay, if they had a conversation about what was going to happen and what he was doing was outside of the boundaries of that conversation, then who do you think was wrong? Marriott said that was not spicy. Do you think that was an example of spicy, or do you think that was an example of toxicity?
That was toxicity. I've seen her say other spicy stuff before we went to this second half of the season. I've seen her say spicy stuff then. This part was definitely toxic. I didn't know until you cleared it up when we were talking that they had an understanding and they agreed. Or they just had an understanding, because that makes an agreement. So yeah. And then I was like, oh, then he is wrong then.
Yeah, you did say, because he did, and he actually admitted in the conversation with Khalil,
yeah,
that, and then he said the interesting thing was, and I like Jay because I think Jay is kind of mature. I think he has some emotional maturity, right, compared to some of the other guys. But when he said that he was sitting on the couch, and I think Sahara put him on the spot because she was jealous of Rose and Cam. So she went over and tried to create a moment. She turned around for him to hit her butt. She did it. She started it off. And then he looked like, oh.
He didn't have to do it though. Like
he did not.
It's all on him. She put it in position to play, and he went for it. He didn't know. I don't know if he didn't want to turn it down. He didn't want to embarrass her, or he just wanted to go. Either way, I'm not giving him nothing on that. He did that. He did what he wanted to do. You grown, brother.
I think he did. I do think he probably didn't want to hurt her feelings, because I think she started rubbing his leg, and then she started rubbing his neck, and then she told him to rub hers. Now, if you guys were listening to the sound, a couple of times she was like, come on. So she kept having to, get him to do it. But you're right. He made the decision, and he did it in front of everybody, which as a woman, to me, makes it worse, because don't embarrass me. There is nothing worse than embarrassing me in front. I could feel Kiara's pain.
It's weak, brother. You weak, and every man has the opportunity. It could fall for a woman. What is it? With Napoleon tried to take over Europe, and he could do it, but what was her name? Sophia, whatever her name was, he couldn't conquer her. You see what I'm saying? You conquered Europe, but you can't conquer a woman. And it's just like, dog, it's a lot of dudes' weaknesses, and they see that. But my thing is, you had an option that you actually like. You didn't have to. This wasn't the end all be all. So why?
I know, but okay. Speak to what Dorothy said. She said he seemed uncomfortable, and it felt like he didn't want her to feel bad from possible rejection. I agree with that.
Man, listen,
Mo, you talking on? You don't like rejecting people in public.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit up there and aid you, but you can do it. You don't have to be an a-hole to do it. You can be a gentleman and still do it, and be like, she put her arm around you, you take it back off. And be like, and you say, yo, chill out. He ain't say chill. He ain't be like, nah. He ain't do none of that.
Yeah. I agree. And now I'm glad to see him take his accountability. Even Tommy called him out, and Tommy was like, that's on you.
I just realized that is a sign of a man that doesn't really get attention.
Speak on it.
I was going to say something else, but he doesn't get attention from those. If you know what I mean, from those.
What do you mean?
He doesn't get attention from those.
Attractive women?
Women. Sometimes men refer to women as those.
Oh. Wow. I was looking too hard, and it was right in my face.
YouTube.
Yeah, he that could be a point. I didn't think about that. That could be a point. He's not the handsomest brother. I do like him a lot. And I think he would actually look a lot better if he just cut those braids off.
I don't know.
Can we see him with a low-cut Caesar?
Can you?
I can see it better than I see what I got right now. I don't like it. I would just shave it in his sleep. I did think Sahara looked a lot better. Can we talk about Sahara and Cam on the bus?
The confessional to me, not the, I don't know.
On the bus. But first of all, can we talk about the fact that this is the only season of Rated Love where they have got on a bus?
Why are you on these people?
Because it bothered me. It just bothered me. Why every other season the people drive, and this season they got on a party bus?
Hold on, I could have swore on one of them other Ready Loves, I didn't see it, but I saw a clip where they got on or off a party bus. That was never.
No, they've never got on a party bus. They did not. They've all driven them, because sometimes they ride together or something, but this time they got not. And you know what, Haitian? No, ma'am. I was thinking that. So I was like, I wonder if they did that for Cisco because he didn't have a ride. But they were all walking with backpacks.
I bet you Cisco is not the only one that don't have a car.
He probably is not. And they were all walking with backpacks and satchels. I ain't see no rolling bags. I was like, what is happening? And can we just take a moment to talk about the house?
Go ahead, because when we were watching it, you was on.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the house.
What didn't you like?
First of all, that pool did not look like it had been treated. The water looked very still. It did not. I did not want them to get in that water. Okay, it did not look like it had been treated. Now you have to treat the pool water. It did not give it had been treated, and the house did not look like any other season of the Baecations with Ready to Love.
For Philadelphia, that is a nice house compared to a row house, possibly. I didn't see nothing wrong too bad with the house. The decor of the house and the inside.
The decor was horrible. It looked like Tommy had a friend that has a business, and they said, "Can you decorate this house?" And it did not give feng shui. I did not like it, and I did not like it. But I was extremely worried about that pool. Not even Baecation on Sesame Street, because the Sesame Street was my jam. But it was not even given Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg has some pretty properties. This was horrible. I am afraid that pool looked like, again, it wasn't even salt water. No, that was not a saltwater pool. It was a chlorine that had not been, like there was pee in that pool already.
What?
It did. It did. I ain't like it. I ain't not like the party bus. I ain't like the house. And I did not, but I mean, all that was matter is they liked it. They liked it. Marriott, you liked it. It's all good. Okay.
The house being bad.
Just me. That did look like Tommy got an Airbnb hookup. Absolutely consumer O. That was not for the show. That was definitely the Airbnb hookup. I'm side-eyeing whoever decorated that house. He said, I got y'all a mansion. I was like, Tommy.
Now, the rooms and how they decorated was a little off, but the house itself was cool.
Mo, would you have gotten in that pool?
No.
Okay, so you agree with me, the pool looks a little suspect. It didn't look like any laps were happening in that pool. It just all right, let me get off of the pool. Let's talk about the fact that Tay immediately, and she was the one who suggested her and Cisco stay together.
Yep.
What were your thoughts on that? Because we know that a couple of weeks ago, she was concerned about Cisco not having a car, not having any financial funds, possibly not having a residence. She seems like she's ready to be here for a short time, not a long time.
That part, but who was her second option?
She had a couple of second options. Khalil was one of her second options.
Right.
I think Khalil was, and Khalil kept saying, the camera kept panning to Khalil, and he kept saying that he was okay with the fact that she had other options there, because this is her second option, Khalil, who looks way better with his hair pulled back. I don't know about that one style he had with his dreads. I ain't like it. He kept saying he wasn't worried about it, but she didn't really have a second connection. She's into Cisco.
And that's what I think. I think she was getting next to something because of the house. I mean, she stepped it up with Christal, got a little bit more. Cisco got a little bit more intimate. Obviously, he felt the energy like he could go in for a kiss. So I think a lot of the energy that we saw was because they were away for the weekend. And then you make the best of it. If worst case scenario, y'all got a good weekend. We're here. We're in close quarters. I think people do things they wouldn't normally do and just say F it.
Well, especially when you're very attracted to that person. I think she's very attracted to him. And, women, ladies, and I know there are a lot of my smart ladies are here, right? My intellectual girls are here. But you guys know when you're very attracted to somebody, it can be hard to use your brain. Why are you laughing?
No, that's a real statement. That's on both. That's not just women.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, attraction is a hell of a mountain to climb.
Man, it's like, but that's a real thing.
So I don't even think it's necessarily because of the close proximity. I think that she knows that he's going to be a mistake in a few months. But I think that she's very, very attracted to him. And it's hard to make the choice, especially when they're all in front of you. Because see what sometimes you would do is you would play with the guy that's very attractive, but you think, okay, I got to be serious with the other guy. But in this situation, you got to pick one. It's hard to pick the best fit as opposed to the one that makes you, have butterflies. It's difficult.
Hey, I just know the energy of when people get out of town and there's a hotel or a Airbnb, the energy turns up a notch. The sexual energy, it's almost like the what's in Vegas stays in Vegas, that kind of thing. I've seen women on girls' trips turn it up a notch. I know how guys move around when they get out of town, and the first thing is get situated, get comfortable now where the women at. That completes the trip. It
does. DC says, I agree, Mo. I really don't think she's into that into Cisco. I think it was all for the house. Haitian Empress says, I think she knows he cannot afford to take her on a retreat. So she is milking it. Like, this is going to be the only time I get a chance to be with this person, not at my house.
Listen, if you can't afford to take the trip, you feel like y'all on the trip together. You'd be like, let's take advantage of this. I can't afford to do this. But
I do think she likes him. You don't think she likes him at all?
But like you said, she knows it's not going to be. So you take advantage of the moment and you live. What do you say? Not for a long time, but a good time, but not long.
For a short time, not a long time. Yeah, like a rapper on tour.
And there it is.
Yeah. How quick his looks would have diminished in my eyes once he talked about renting a room. I'd be disgusted with him. I hear you, Tasha, in the desert, and I know a lot of women would say that, but I know a lot of men that there are a lot. This is the thing. This is the thing that we don't want to acknowledge here on this show. Okay, there are a lot of broke men that have no shortage of vagine.
I used to be one of them. I know, trust me. I had more women then than ever.
I can attest to that. I was a witness, Your Honor. I saw it with my own eyes. I would be like, what is happening? So let's don't act like all women say something. It's kind of like when men say they don't ever, take one for the team. Yes, you do.
Oh,
and so do we. So do we. I know more women trying to figure out a job plan for a broke man. I have girlfriends that are all affluent, right? And there more than one of us has tried to come up with a plan for a broke man. I myself, now this is back in my younger years, I tried to help this guy get his business off. I made him a brochure. Hey, I'm trying to help. He's a good-looking man. I'm trying not to waste this. I'm like, well, let me help you with your marketing plan for your business. Again, this is before I, came to myself. Okay, so y'all don't come at me, but I'm just saying I'm not going to act like I've never tried to bend the rules for an attractive man. We learn. I made that Negro a brochure to advertise his business. Do you think that he pursued that business? No. It never works with these people. But I'm just saying we've all tried to do it. We've all tried. We've all been disappointed.
That's so good.
And this is the thing. See how Linda admits she knows She says broke D is the best D, ain't it, girl?
Done some of my best work. I'm just saying.
I have a friend who is very, very wealthy at this point. But at one point in our friendship, when I first met him, he was not as wealthy as he is now. And he has admitted to laying it on thick with women that he was not that attracted to, but allowed him to live with them. One was paying his phone bill and he had to, really, really come through. So not me, girl. Okay, I hear you, but I bet you just one time. We all like the guys that we should not like until we get wise. Because you're thinking like, if I help him and he looks good, then when I get him on his feet, he's all mine. But the trick to that is when you get him on his feet, he gonna go someplace else. So now you done wasted your resources. No. So don't do it, Tay. Don't do it. Don't do it, Tay. Tammy, you're better than the rest of us. Tammy says she never. Somebody said ask Phaedra. Yeah. Now, I mean, ladies, what are y'all gonna do? Would you rather have a short, unattractive, fat, intelligent millionaire, or a broke, fine, shoulders broad and muscled? I mean, let's just be honest. A lot of us are going to say something on this chat.
Knocking the bottom out of it.
But then when you go home and that little man is no disrespect to the short kings. How are you fat and a millionaire? I know a lot of fat millionaires.
What? A bunch.
That's the majority of them are not in shape. And I know one that told me, I don't have to go to the gym. You see what my bank account looks like? Touche, sir. Yes, I do. And I probably don't have to go to the gym. Anyway, just saying, let's move on. Let's move on to Rose, because Rose, one thing about Rose is I feel like she is a person that really puts up a weird representative.
Yes.
I don't understand her game. Her game is strange to me. She tells everybody how amazing she is, right? But do you guys notice that she stayed in the room with Hussein? She invited him into her room, right? But then she brought clothes for Cam. What was that with that?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know if the clothes were bait.
She brought him several options.
Yeah, that was
Yeah. I love that the chat has started naming fat millionaires. I love it. Yes and yes. Yes.
What's going on?
Yes, Linda B. All of that. That is hilarious. But yeah, why do you think? Linda said Rose's confusion. I don't believe her at all. I believe Rose is a pick-me and she's desperate and she's trying to paint herself to be this overly compassionate. She's probably crazier than everybody. I don't trust her. You bought this man clothes and then you offered this man to sleep in the room with you. You're trying to cover all bases and the men aren't really falling for it.
That I do agree with, covering all bases. I think she's laying, those are traps.
Those are traps.
I do believe that.
So they said singing on bars, Rose is only Christian on Sundays. Hilarious. Hilarious. She is Sahara at church. Rose is a universal flower. Man, I guarantee you, when these cameras are off, Rose, because the woman that knows how to pander to what a man wants to hear. Now, thankfully, them Philly guys aren't falling for it. If she was in Atlanta, they would all be, she would be getting them, because men here fall, they like a real superficial ego rub. But in Philly, they kind of like more real stuff. And these guys are like, what? I don't know about this.
Nothing wrong with it. What do they say? You get more flies with sugar than
honey. You get more flies with honey.
Yeah, God, me, dang, we can't get nothing. We supposed to be all treated rough.
So no, but do you? So do you believe Rose is pandering? Or you would want the shirts? Would you have wanted the shirts
from the woman I liked? It's not wrong. Doesn't do it to the guy that you feel is giving you that same energy back. She's just laying bait down to see whoever's going to pick up what. I don't.
That's my point. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with rubbing ego.
That energy to the right man. What she's doing is wrong. Is how she's doing it.
I don't like it.
That's all.
I'm still shocked there ain't no Ankh toting Hotep. Well, people are at Rose asked, do you think Rose Nola says, do you think Rose slept with Hussein in that room?
I'm glad I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it on the show, but I was like, she gave to like did he already hit? But Cam though, because it's like, why would you buy it? I know if a woman spend money on you, she like you.
But I think she like everybody.
I do know that. If a woman spend money on you, they like you. Ask Chris Brown. So that's all I'm saying.
Everybody spends money on Chris Brown. He is an outlier. He doesn't count. Ayo said, I like Sahara best.
What?
I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah,
Sahara is wild, and I don't like what she did with Jay.
Yeah, that was foul.
Because I don't think she likes Jay at all. She likes Cam. I would say this: the way Cam and Sahara were hugged up on that party bus, the old party bus. That's not the new model. That was an older. I'm just saying, I've been on the party bus. That was an older model. Okay. I just was so taken aback. I was taken aback. But the way that Cam had his arm around her, they were hugged up on that bus. And I told you, he likes her.
I still don't get that, but okay. That's on that brother. He like what he like.
I think he's trying because he feels that that's going to be the person that's going to be best for him. Did you not think it was weird that he was upset about Rose saying Angie saying that she would bust the windows out his car?
I do agree with him on that. He did the right thing.
But why was he so bothered about it?
Okay. If you were if any woman was in a situation where they had a man put their hands on you, the relationship you moved on years later, you met someone,
yes,
he says, you know what, I put my hands on a woman before. You're going to feel a way, you're going to be triggered, and you're going to want to stay away from it. You can be like, you know what, I'm good. So what is the difference when a man hears that a woman is toxic like that, and he had windows busted out before, and now he's talking to someone that she says it, that he, like, we get triggered on things too and be like, nah, I'm cool on that. I had a bad experience with that, and I don't want to deal with any more women like that. That's all that is.
But why was he so upset, though, that he had to go sit by himself?
It was triggering.
Oh, he was triggered. Okay. My bad. Far be it from me to say that people can't be triggered.
Sometimes, y'all keep forgetting that Superman is really Clark Kent. Jesus.
We have not forgotten that at all.
Jesus.
In fact, if anything, we forgot that there's Superman.
Okay, I'll give you that one. No,
I'm just saying.
I'll give you that. You got that one. I like it. That was cool. I like it.
Being honest. I thought that was, and okay, I do want to say, I agree with Hey You there. Assault and vandalism are different. I think somebody busting you in the face and somebody busting the windows out your car are two different things. Your insurance deductible gonna take care of that.
You violated. He also mentioned something about people coming up to jobs that lets me know that possibly happened to him before. You don't know, all kind of different people are affected by different things.
What that lets me know is Cam has been doing some stuff to piss women off, and I need to stay away from him.
Oh, God. Man, you're making a problem.
What? So you're trying to say that women are just going around busting windows out of random cars?
Straight to him wrong, and this is really about her. And now you understand, you're making it about him being triggered and something must be wrong with him, when the whole situation, we're talking about her.
I'm asking you, why are women coming up to Cam's job and busting the windows out his car?
I don't know. I've had
I'd like to take a gander.
No, but listen, man, ain't no telling what triggered her. There's no telling. Jesus, man, we can't.
So are you saying, I just want you to go on the record. Hey, go on the record, okay? Say women are just going around busting random windows out of cars of men that haven't done anything.
So that's like saying, you know what? Men are just slapping women in the face for no reason. Y'all will be on my ass. Because they do it, it's still, the action is still not justifiable.
I'm not saying it's justifiable, but I'm saying,
be an adult. If somebody get away from them, just like they telling Cam to get away from her. If she feels that way, whatever he might have done, get away, move it up, you know. But unless that man did that to you, like, leave it alone. Like, why we justify it on one end and say it's cool? None of it is.
Have you listened to Jasmine Sullivan's Bust the Windows Out Your Car? I just want to say.
Another Philly person.
I just want to say, because you're acting like you don't understand. You don't understand why a woman could be moved to that place.
For justifying that?
I'm asking, have you listened to the lyrics?
I listened. I know with some people, whenever they don't like something, they feel like something didn't go their way. They feel like you violated them or whatever they're going to do.
I would like to read just quickly a few of the lyrics.
You go ahead.
And I just want you to say if you can acknowledge or not. I bust the windows out your car, but it don't compare to my broken heart. You could never feel how I felt that day. Until that happens, baby, you don't know pain. Yeah, I did it. You should know it. I ain't sorry. You deserved it. I must admit it helped a little bit to think of how you felt when you saw it. I didn't know that I had that much. Okay, that's the wrong verse. I bust the windows out your car and no, it didn't mend my broken heart. I'll probably always have these ugly scars, but right now I don't care about that part. I bust the windows out your car and I saw you laying next to her. I didn't want to, but I took my turn. I'm glad I did it because you had to learn. Y'all gotta stop playing with people's hearts.
As she written from her prison cell.
She didn't. She actually is a bona fide, probably the best R&B vocalist in the world. She's fine. She's, that's not a problem. Windows ain't a cheap fix. So Apple, okay. I'm just saying, you don't speak to Jasmine's pain. I've never broken windows out of a car, but if I probably had a bat at the time, I may have, but I didn't. But I understand. I'm just saying, like, why are y'all do stuff to people that's hurtful and then say you should just be respectful and walk away?
I'm not saying.
Men do things too. Men do things too when they get hurt.
Yeah, but if a man busted the windows of a woman's car, y'all will call him what? That sassy. Why would you do that? You're less of a man. So when you're doing it, we're justified because your heart is broken.
Well, okay. Well, Haitian Empress says she prefers to walk away. Linda says, "Don't do that, ladies. Just leave and get a better man." Okay. All right, y'all. All right. We all would want to do that, but I'm just saying. I just want to go on the record saying Cam has been doing some things that are putting him in harm's way.
Scenario. We don't even know this man's life. But you just made up a whole thing.
I would be willing to bet cash money on it that he did something. And men want to be able to play in women's faces and women not respond. Now, if a woman if a woman cheats on a man, I have a friend that cheated on a boyfriend. Be careful, because that, when you play with people's feelings, you don't know. You don't know what that person's gonna do. Poor Jasmine. Poor Jasmine. You can hear her pain in that song. So nobody left tonight, but we are left with we know that the two ladies that were called to the carpet are Deanna and Angie. I feel like Deanna should leave because I don't feel like she has a romantic connection with anybody.
Right.
I think Angie could possibly have some physical connections with a few people, but probably not long-standing. Melanie says she laughed when Cam said they were all getting on his nerves. That was probably the realest statement of the night, because I'm sure, I don't understand how men have a lot of women, because it seems like we get on y'all's nerves. So how do y'all be having multiple women?
Now,
I'm sorry for my grammar on that one, but that's just the way it came out.
He just seems like I don't know, he's moody. He's one of them type. He comes off that way anyway. Yeah,
of course, which is why I say he probably did something to cause his windows to get busted out.
What the? You just made up a whole story.
I didn't. I went on my better judgment. My educated educated assumption is that Cam did something.
Okay, he possibly did.
Consistently, because somebody comes to your job. Ooh, what was the reason? Cardi B says, what was the reason, Cam? How many more weeks of dribble of this? We know that it's probably gonna, I would say 2 or 3 more shows, and then we'll end up at the reunion. I believe the reunion is in October, but what do we say? We say we want Deanna or Angie to leave. You guys let us know which one you think is going to leave. And then it's so interesting that we see the following week that Kiara put Jay on the chopping block.
Well, we all know why that.
Yeah, but I wonder if she's gonna let him. If he leaves, she's gonna have to leave. But she seemed like she was ready to burn it down. But she seemed like she was ready to burn it all down tonight.
But it seems like people are scrambling to find a connection, almost forcing. That's where it starts to become like,
Yeah. All right, let's rate tonight's episode.
I give it a 5.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
See, I thought it was good. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Okay, Tammy says, as someone who has had a stalker. She's saying I'm saying the wrong things. I'm just saying, I could be wrong. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying it's right but I am saying that, hey, don't play with people's feelings. I think Jasmine says that in that song.
But I think sometimes you don't know how deep a person, it's no way to gauge that sometimes until after. You don't think, because I hear women say this more than anything, when things don't work out and when they want a man, I've heard several times, I'm trying to think if I ever heard a man say it, women say, it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. And I'm not saying men don't say it, they probably do. I'm not in relationships with men. But I definitely hear women saying when they don't like the guy after he spent money or time or energy, and then he's calling, blowing her up, and she was like, why is he tripping? It ain't that deep. So you don't know what's deep for people.
I agree. Both sides, because I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying. Both sides do that, right? And I think that both sides know when somebody likes you more than you like them. We all know what that feels like. We all know what it feels like to be on both sides of that equation. But when you use somebody, then you cannot dictate how they're going to react. You cannot.
But it don't mean it's right. I understand we can't dictate, but we're talking about right or wrong.
So before we leave here tonight, Mo, tell us, oh wise one, how should a woman react when a man has played in her face and she finds out that he's sleeping. Say you walk in on your man in bed with somebody else. What are you supposed to do since you're not supposed to bust windows out? That makes you wrong.
If a woman walks in on her man?
Yes. I know someone that happened to as well, to be honest.
To be honest with you, I don't know, but I know violence isn't the thing, and there is a such thing as a crime of passion.
Yeah, so I'm saying, should she collect herself and say, you know what, I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to go downstairs, get in my car, and drive peacefully off.
We're not, listen, even at that point, if you want to just jump on him or whatever, I don't know. But I just know, what is busting his windows out going to do?
Well, Jasmine said it made her feel better for that moment.
Yeah, and that's the same thing abusers say. But that's not right.
No, it's not. It's not, but I'm just asking you to please admit it's also not right to hurt people's feelings.
No, yeah, that's a given. I'm not saying that.
I didn't know it. You weren't saying that. I just want to hear the both sides.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm definitely not saying that.
This young lady I talked to today said her dude had a baby on her, and when she was accusing him of cheating, and when she decided to leave, he was like, "Well, since you already found out, just so you know, it was baby was a whole year old."
Dude, like, you ever seen Which Way Is Up? Richard Pryor played all these roles, like the Nutty Professor, like Eddie Murphy did, played all these roles. And there was a woman that was, he played the pastor of a church and got another woman pregnant. So his wife was the first lady, and the other guy came over there and be like, you know what? You got my wife pregnant, and guess what? I got your wife pregnant, and showed her pregnant stomach. Do that, maybe. I don't know. Do that.
Yeah, that's not going to work, Mo.
I don't know, man. But I know violence is not it.
I would rather bust the windows out of his car than go have sex with her boyfriend. Like, I don't want to catch an STD. I would rather hurt your car. I don't believe in busting windows out cars because, number one, everybody has camera phones and ring cameras, and you can get caught. And one thing we don't do, ladies, is get caught. But I'm just saying, like, you got to acknowledge that when somebody is being hurt, they're not going to think rationally on either side.
No, 1,000%, and I'm not justifying it, but we just made up a whole scenario. But him being triggered, if that happened to her, and then she was in another relationship, and another guy says, well, I cheated before, and she said, I don't want to deal with anybody that ever cheated, we would be like, well, that's her prerogative. I'm saying with him, if he was in a toxic situation before, that he thought was, and she said she did something similar, or he felt those were toxic actions, he has the right to say, you know what, I'm going to fall back off you because that's just triggering me, and I don't want to do that.
I'm not mad at that. It's just the fact that he went kind of sulked in the corner that I thought was lame. But no problem. I'm just saying, I could be wrong. I'm okay with that. We're going to let that go. I gave it a 7.5. Mo gave it a 5. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. If you're watching the replay, make sure you let us know what you think the difference is between being toxic and being spicy. Do you think it's a difference? Do you think it's about how the repercussions are, or do you think it's about cultural, a cultural difference? Let us know what you think. You guys don't go anywhere. Remember, we're going to go right now into our Love and Marriage Huntsville review. Last week's episode, we got some stuff to talk about. So we'll be back 2 and 2 right here. All right. Love and Marriage Huntsville. We'll see you guys in a second.
Gotcha.